Imagine looking into the eyes of a creature that went extinct thousands of years ago and realizing it's alive again. This isn't science fiction anymore. It's called De-Extinction, and right now, scientists are closer than ever to bringing back species like the woolly mammoth, the dodo, and even the saber-toothed cat. But while some call it the future of conservation, others warn we might be chasing science without fully understanding the consequences. Are we pushing the limits of what's possible, or are we playing God with the past? De-extinction refers to the process of reviving extinct species using modern science, typically through cloning, gene editing, or selective backbreeding. And this isn't just theoretical anymore. In 2003, scientists successfully cloned a Pyrenean ibex, a species of wild goat that had gone extinct just a few years earlier. For a few precious minutes, the species technically walked the earth again before the clone died from lung failure. It was both a breakthrough and a warning. Fast forward to today, in Boston, the biotech company Colossal is working on reviving the woolly mammoth using Asian elephants and CRISPR gene editing. In Australia, scientists are trying to bring back the Tasmanian tiger. In Japan, researchers have extracted preserved mammoth DNA from permafrost and are experimenting with elephant embryos. The science is moving faster than public awareness, and with it comes a flood of questions. Let's start with the potential benefits. First, some extinct animals played critical roles in their ecosystems. Mammoths, for example, helped maintain permafrost by compacting snow and promoting grasslands. In theory, bringing them back could help slow down climate change in Arctic regions. Second, de-extinction pushes genetic science forward. The same tools used to bring back extinct species could help cure diseases, restore damaged DNA, and protect endangered animals from going extinct. Third, there's a moral argument. If humans caused the extinction of a species through hunting or habitat destruction, then maybe we have a responsibility to bring it back. But now, the other side. De-extinction projects are extremely expensive, costing tens of millions of dollars. Should we be spending that money to bring back lost species when there are thousands of endangered animals alive today that need help right now? There's also the question of where these animals would live. Their original environments may no longer exist. Climate, vegetation, and even other species have changed. Reintroducing them could damage ecosystems or introduce new risks. And then there's the ethics. Is a cloned mammoth truly a mammoth, or just a biological copy made in a lab? If it's born into captivity, living in isolation, are we giving it life or sentencing it to a lonely existence? And finally, what happens if we succeed? Do we stop at mammoths? What about dinosaurs? What about extinct human relatives? Could de-extinction lead to creating hybrid species, or even genetic experiments we can't control? The line between science and science fiction is thinner than ever. In the end, de-extinction is a symbol of both human brilliance and human hubris. It's a scientific breakthrough with real potential, but also real consequences. So the question isn't just can we do it, it's should we? Should we bring back extinct species in hopes of fixing the damage we've done? Or should we focus our efforts on saving the life that's still here, still fighting to survive? Let us know what you think in the comments. Is de-extinction a second chance for nature or a dangerous distraction? Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell for more deep dives into science, ethics, and the future of life on Earth. Because the scariest question in science isn't always what's possible. Sometimes it's what happens if we actually go through with it.
Imagine swimming in the vast open ocean. The water is calm, everything seems safe, till a massive shadow appears beneath you. A shark over 65 feet long, with jaws powerful enough to crush a car, is heading straight for you. There's no doubt about it. This is Megalodon, the most terrifying apex predator to ever rule the oceans. But just how powerful was it? Did anything dare challenge it? Why did it vanish from the seas? Stick around until the end of the video because the truth might shock you. Megalodon lived approximately 23 to 3.6 million years ago, during the Neogene period. It was just the biggest shark, but also one of the most powerful predators in Earth's history. So how massive was it? Fully grown Megalodon could reach lengths of 50 to 65 feet, with some estimates suggesting up to 80 feet. To put that into perspective, it was 3 times the size of today's largest great white sharks. Its jaws alone measured about 10 feet wide, meaning it could easily swallow an adult human whole. But size wasn't the scariest part. Megalodon had the strongest bite force in history. Estimated at 40,000 pounds per square inch, stronger than crocodiles, T-Rex, and even modern great whites. It could crush the bones of any prey, including giant whales. But how did it hunt? Megalodon wasn't just massive. It was also an intelligent and agile predator. It could swim at speeds of up to 25 miles per hour, allowing it to launch devastating ambush attacks. Instead of biting randomly, Megalodon had a lethal hunting strategy. It targeted the ribs, its fins, or tails of its prey, crippling them before going in for the kill. Fossil evidence shows deep bite marks on prehistoric whale bones, proving that Megalodon could crush through bone to access the most nutrient-rich parts. But did anything in the ocean dare challenge Megalodon? Even though Megalodon was an apex predator, it wasn't completely invincible. Some potential rivals included Leviathan, a massive predatory whale with 14-inch long teeth, capable of fighting back against Megalodon. Bazosaurus, a giant marine reptile that lived before Megalodon, but could have been a formidable opponent if they coexisted. Giant whales. Some prehistoric whales were large and strong enough to defend themselves against Megalodon attacks. However, there is no solid evidence that any of these creatures could consistently defeat a Megalodon in a one-on-one fight. So if it was such a dominant predator, why did Megalodon go extinct? Megalodon went extinct around 3.6 million years ago. Scientists have proposed several possible reasons for its disappearance. Climate change. As the Earth entered an ice age, ocean temperatures dropped, reducing Megalodon's hunting grounds. The rise of modern whales. Many whales evolved to be larger, faster, and more intelligent, making them harder prey for Megalodon. Competition with great white sharks. The ancestors of today's great white sharks may have competed with Megalodon for food, further pressuring its survival. But could Megalodon still exist somewhere in the depths of the ocean? Despite many myths, scientists confirm that Megalodon is extinct. However, the ocean remains largely unexplored. Could there still be undiscovered giants lurking in the deep? Do you think could Megalodon still be out there, or is there another predator even stronger than it? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing content on prehistoric predators. Imagine standing in the middle of a dense prehistoric jungle. Suddenly, the ground trembles, trees crash to the ground, and an enormous creature emerges, locking eyes with you. There's no doubt about it, this is Tyrannosaurus Rex, the most feared predator to ever walk the earth. But wait, is T-Rex really the king of the Jurassic era, as many believe? Or is that just a huge misconception? Stay tuned until the end of the video because the truth might shock you. Many people think T-Rex dominated the Jurassic period, but that's actually a huge mistake. T-Rex didn't exist during the Jurassic era. Instead, it ruled the Earth during the late Cretaceous period, around 68 to 66 million years ago. In contrast, the Jurassic period spanned 101 to 145 million years ago, meaning T-Rex appeared over 80 million years later. So why do people keep associating T-Rex with the Jurassic era? The main reason is movies, especially blockbuster hits like Jurassic Park. But in reality, if we're talking about true Jurassic era apex predators, we should be looking at Allosaurus, Ceratosaurus, and Megalosaurus. So if T-Rex wasn't from the Jurassic era, why is it still considered the king of dinosaurs? Let's find out. Even though T-Rex didn't live in the Jurassic period, it was still one of the most terrifying creatures to ever exist. What made it such an unstoppable predator? First, the strongest bite force in history. T-Rex had a bite force of 12,000 pounds, which is over 6 tons, 3 times stronger than a crocodile. It could crush bones and tear through flesh effortlessly. Second, its massive size. A fully grown T-Rex could stand 20 feet tall, grow up to 40 feet long, and weigh between 8 to 9 tons, as big as a 2-story bus. Third, its incredible vision. Contrary to what movies suggest, T-Rex wasn't blind to motionless objects. In fact, its eyesight was sharper than an eagle's, allowing it to detect prey from over 4 miles away. But was there any dinosaur strong enough to take on a T-Rex? Let's find out. Even though T-Rex was a powerful predator, it wasn't the largest dinosaur. Some of its most dangerous rivals included Spinosaurus, larger than T-Rex, adapted for hunting in water, but with a weaker bite. Giganotosaurus, bigger in size but had a weaker bite force. Compared to T-Rex, Carcharodontosaurus, known for its long, razor-sharp teeth, designed for slicing through flesh. So, if a T-Rex and a Spinosaurus fought, who would win? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. even though some dinosaurs were larger. T-Rex remains a legend because of three key advantages. First, its intelligence. Studies suggest that T-Rex had a more developed brain compared to many other predators, making it a strategic hunter. Second, its ability to hunt in packs. Some fossil evidence suggests that T-Rex may have hunted in groups, making it even more dangerous. Third, its bone-crushing bite. Unlike other carnivores that slash at their prey, T-Rex's bite could completely crush bones and extract the marrow inside. These traits made T-Rex the ultimate predator and the undisputed symbol of prehistoric power. So, we've uncovered the truth about T-Rex, the so-called king of the Jurassic era that actually lived in the Cretaceous period. Despite this misconception, its strength, intelligence, and dominance make it one of the most fearsome creatures in history. Do you think T-Rex deserves the title of the ultimate apex predator? Or do you believe another dinosaur was stronger? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing dinosaur content. Which dinosaur should we cover next? Drop your suggestions below.
65 million years ago, Earth was home to a flying killing machine, a creature known as the king of the skies. Yes, that's right, it was the pterosaur, the airborne assassin. These prehistoric flying reptiles soared over ancient landscapes for over 150 million years, mastering the skies long before birds even existed. But how big were they? How did they hunt? And why did they disappear? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll see why pterosaurs were the true rulers of the sky. Despite their appearance, pterosaurs were not dinosaurs. They belonged to a separate group of reptiles, evolving around 225 million years ago, during the Triassic period. What made them so special? First, vertebrates to achieve powered flight. Unlike flying dinosaurs, pterosaurs developed wings made of skin, muscle, and fibers, stretched between an elongated fourth finger and their body. Huge variety of species. Some were as small as a modern pigeon, while others were as large as fighter jets. Highly adapted flyers. They had hollow bones to reduce weight, powerful flight muscles, and even a brain specialized for aerial movement. But just how big did these flying reptiles get? While some pterosaurs were small, others reached mind-blowing sizes. Let's talk about the true giants. Quetzalcoatlus, the largest known flying animal, with a wingspan of 33 to 40 feet. That's about the size of a small plane. Hatzegopteryx, a close relative of Quetzalcoatlus, but possibly even heavier and more powerful. Pteranodon, one of the most famous pterosaurs, with a wingspan of around 20 feet. How did these massive creatures take off? Some scientists believe they used a quadrupedal launch, pushing off the ground with all four limbs, much like a modern-day vampire bat. But these weren't just giant gliders, they were deadly hunters. Pterosaurs weren't just flying lizards, they were highly adapted predators. Depending on the species, they had different hunting techniques. Skimming the water. Some, like Ramphorhynchus, likely snatched fish from the ocean's surface, similar to modern seabirds. Diving and stabbing prey. Pterosaurs, with long, sharp beaks, may have speared fish mid-flight. Land-based hunting. The largest pterosaurs, like Quetzalcoatlus, may have stalked prey on land, using their long necks to hunt smaller dinosaurs. They dominated the skies, but could anything challenge them? For over 150 million years, pterosaurs thrived, adapting to different environments and evolving into some of the most impressive creatures to ever fly. So, what happened? The Cretaceous-Paleogene extinction event minus 66 million years ago. The same asteroid that wiped out the dinosaurs also devastated the pterosaurs. Rising competition from birds. As birds evolved, they may have outcompeted smaller pterosaur species, leaving only the giants behind. Environmental changes, the loss of their habitats, and prey likely played a major role in their decline. But could pterosaurs have survived longer than we think? Pterosaurs were the first true rulers of the skies, dominating the air for millions of years. They came in all shapes and sizes, from tiny insect eaters to plane-sized giants. But what if some of these incredible creatures had survived past the extinction event? Could there still be undiscovered fossils of species we've never seen before? What do you think? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more epic prehistoric content.
Few creatures in Earth's history have captured the human imagination quite like Tyrannosaurus rex. With its massive skull, bone-crushing bite, and towering frame, T-Rex has become the ultimate symbol of prehistoric power and terror. But what if I told you that the T-Rex we see in movies isn't always the same as the real one? From the original King Kong to Jurassic Park and beyond, Hollywood has shaped the way we see this prehistoric predator. So, how has T-Rex evolved on the big screen? And what's fact versus fiction? Stay tuned, because you're about to find out. Tyrannosaurus rex first stomped into cinematic history almost a century ago, and ever since, it's been a favorite among filmmakers. King Kong, one of the earliest depictions of a T-Rex on screen. Though primitive by today's standards, its stop-motion animation was revolutionary. In the film, King Kong battles a T-Rex in one of the most iconic monster fights of all time. The beast from 20,000 Fathoms, inspired by T-Rex, this film featured a giant prehistoric monster attacking cities, setting the stage for future kaiju films like Godzilla, 1 million years BC. Another classic featuring dinosaurs, though it famously mixed different prehistoric creatures together, ignoring actual history. These films may not have been scientifically accurate, but they cemented T-Rex as the ultimate movie monster. If there's one film that redefined how the world saw T-Rex, it was Jurassic Park. Lifelike CGI and animatronics. Steven Spielberg's team created the most realistic and terrifying T-Rex the world had ever seen, combining practical effects with groundbreaking CGI. The T-Rex breakout scene, one of the most intense moments in movie history. The rain, the flickering lights, the roar, it all made the audience feel like they were face to face with a real dinosaur. A new standard for dinosaur movies. After Jurassic Park, every dinosaur movie had to step up its game. But how realistic was this T-Rex? Well, not entirely. The real T-Rex may not have been as fast, and new research suggests it probably had lips covering its teeth. Still, Jurassic Park's T-Rex remains the most famous dinosaur in cinema. After Jurassic Park, T-Rex continued to dominate movies, TV shows, and even video games. Jurassic World series. The T-Rex is portrayed as both a terrifying predator and, surprisingly, a hero in some scenes. Godzilla franchise. While Godzilla isn't a dinosaur, its design and movements have always been influenced by T-Rex. In gaming, T-Rex often appears as the ultimate boss fight, reinforcing its legendary status. Even today, when people think of dinosaurs, T-Rex is the first that comes to mind. While Hollywood has made T-Rex look incredible on screen, not everything we see in movies is scientifically accurate. Let's separate fact from fiction. T-Rex could run at 40 mph. No, recent studies suggest its max speed was around 12 to 15 mph, more like a fast jog than a sprint. T-Rex was always a solo hunter. Maybe not. Some evidence suggests juvenile T-Rexes may have hunted in groups, but adults were likely solitary. T-Rex had exposed teeth like a crocodile. New research indicates it probably had lips covering its teeth, making it look less like Jurassic Park's version. Even with these scientific updates, T-Rex remains a terrifying and fascinating creature, both in reality and on the big screen. From stop-motion King Kong to the photorealistic Jurassic World, T-Rex has been Hollywood's favorite dinosaur for nearly a century. But with new discoveries, will we see a more scientifically accurate T-Rex in future films? Or will Hollywood continue to favor the classic movie monster look? Let us know what you think in the comments. And if you love dinosaurs, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more epic prehistoric content. Imagine you are face to face with the most terrifying jaws in history. A single bite, bones shatter, flesh tears, and nothing survives. But which creature had the strongest bite ever? And was the Tyrannosaurus rex truly the king of crushing power? Today, we are ranking the deadliest bites of all time and revealing whether the T-Rex was really the ultimate champion. Subscribe now for more epic prehistoric battles. Before we dive into the contenders, let's break down what makes a bite powerful. Bite force is measured in pounds per square inch, also known as PSI, which tells us how much pressure is applied in a single chomp. But strength is not everything. The shape of the teeth, jaw structure, and even hunting strategy all play a role in determining the deadliest bite. Bite force in PSI represents the pressure per square inch of bite impact. With a bite force estimated at 12,800 psi, the Tyrannosaurus rex was an absolute powerhouse. Its massive banana-shaped teeth were not just for slicing flesh. They were designed to crush bone. Scientists have even found T-Rex bite marks in fossilized Triceratops bones, proving it could crunch through even the toughest armor. The Tyrannosaurus rex had one of the most powerful bites in history, strong enough to crush a car. But even the Tyrannosaurus rex's bite force pales in comparison to the Megalodon, the prehistoric shark that ruled the oceans. This massive predator's jaws could crush prey with an estimated 40,000 psi, which is more than 3 times the power of the T-Rex. Imagine an entire bus being crushed like a soda can in its jaws. Terrifying, right? The Megalodon had the strongest bite force of any known predator. You do not have to go back to the age of dinosaurs to find a bite that rivals the Tyrannosaurus rex. The saltwater crocodile, the strongest biter in today's animal kingdom, chomps down with 3,700 psi. That is weaker than the T-Rex, but still strong enough to crush bones with ease. Unlike the T-Rex, crocodiles can hold on to their prey in a death roll, making escape nearly impossible. Saltwater crocodiles have the most powerful bite of any living animal. Some believe the Spinosaurus, the largest carnivorous dinosaur, could challenge the Tyrannosaurus rex. However, its bite force was estimated at 4,200 psi, which was much weaker than the T-Rex's. The Spinosaurus was more of a fish hunter than a bone crusher, using its long, crocodile-like snout to snatch prey from the water. So while it was massive, it was not the ultimate biting machine. The Spinosaurus was the largest carnivorous dinosaur, but its bite was weaker than that of the Tyrannosaurus rex. So, who had the strongest bite of all time? If we go purely by numbers, the Megalodon wins by a landslide with 40,000 psi. However, on land, the Tyrannosaurus rex still reigns supreme as the strongest biter among dinosaurs. Its combination of bone-crushing teeth and unmatched power made it one of the most terrifying land predators in history. Now that you know the truth, who do you think had the most fearsome bite? Would the Tyrannosaurus rex stand a chance against the Megalodon if they ever met? Let us know in the comments. And do not forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more epic prehistoric battles. Subscribe now for more amazing dinosaur content. This version flows naturally without timestamps while maintaining clarity and engagement. Let me know if you need any further refinements. Imagine the rumbling sound of approaching footsteps. The ground shakes. A deep, guttural roar fills the air. Then, out of the shadows, 2 fierce, glowing eyes pierce through the darkness. You know what's coming. The Tyrannosaurus rex, the most iconic movie monster of all time. But how did this prehistoric predator become a box office phenomenon? How did a creature that went extinct 66 million years ago manage to dominate Hollywood and captivate audiences for decades? Today, we're re-diving into the T-Rex's journey from fossilized remains to the silver screen, and how it became one of cinema's biggest stars. Before T-Rex roared its way into Hollywood, it was already a superstar in the world of paleontology. Discovered in 1902 by Barnum Brown, the Tyrannosaurus rex was unlike anything the world had ever seen. Its sheer size, powerful jaws, and terrifying reputation as a top predator made it an instant fascination. It wasn't long before artists, authors, and filmmakers saw its potential as the ultimate movie monster. One of the earliest appearances of T-Rex in film was in the 1925 silent movie The Lost World, where stop-motion animation brought dinosaurs to life for the first time. But this was just the beginning. As technology improved, so did the ways filmmakers could showcase the terrifying might of the T-Rex. Then came 1993, Jurassic Park, a film that didn't just feature dinosaurs, it redefined them. Directed by Steven Spielberg, this sci-fi blockbuster didn't just make T-Rex a household name, it turned it into a cultural phenomenon. The T-Rex in Jurassic Park wasn't just another movie monster, it was real. Thanks to a groundbreaking mix of animatronics and CGI, Spielberg brought audiences face-to-face with a lifelike, terrifying, and awe-inspiring version of the T-Rex. Who could forget the legendary T-Rex breakout scene? The rain-soaked night, the vibrations in the water cup, the chilling roar, the sheer power and intelligence of this creature. It wasn't just a dinosaur, it was the dinosaur. The film shattered box office records, grossing over $1 billion worldwide. The T-Rex became the movie's unofficial mascot, cementing its status as the king of the dinosaurs, not just in science, but in entertainment. Over the years, the T-Rex's role in films has evolved. In Jurassic Park, it was the terrifying force of nature, an unpredictable predator. But in later films, something changed. In Jurassic World, the T-Rex took on a new role, not just as a monster, but as a hero. The final battle scene in Jurassic World, where the T-Rex fights the genetically engineered Indominus Rex, is one of the most epic moments in dinosaur cinema. The once feared predator became the audience's champion, a nostalgic callback to the original film while proving it was still the king of the big screen. Even in Jurassic World, Dominion, the T-Rex's legend continued to grow, reminding us why it remains the ultimate movie dinosaur. So, why does T-Rex continue to capture our imagination? Part of it is science. Tyrannosaurus Rex was one of the most formidable predators to ever walk the earth. But beyond that, it's about storytelling. The T-Rex represents something primal: power, fear, survival. It embodies the wild, untamed force of nature that humans both admire and fear. Movies like Jurassic Park didn't just showcase the T-Rex. They made us feel what it would be like to stand in front of one. And that's why, decades later, the roar of the T-Rex still sends chills down our spines. With advancements in CGI and storytelling, the T-Rex's reign in cinema is far from over. Whether it's in new Jurassic films, animated series, or even video games, the legacy of the T-Rex will continue to evolve. But one thing is certain. No matter how many new dinosaurs Hollywood invents, the Tyrannosaurus Rex will always be the dinosaur that dominates the box office and our imaginations. So, what's your favorite T-Rex movie moment? Is it the first time we saw it in Jurassic Park? The final battle in Jurassic World? Or maybe another film altogether? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more amazing dinosaur content. The king of dinosaurs isn't going extinct anytime soon, so stay tuned for more epic prehistoric action. The Tyrannosaurus Rex stood about 20 feet tall, stretched nearly 40 feet long, and weighed up to 9 tons. That's more than 2 elephants combined. Its bite force, an estimated 12,800 pounds per square inch, the strongest of any land animal in history. And while it may not have been the fastest runner, reaching around 12 to 20 miles per hour, it didn't need to be. One bite, one kill. So yeah, this wasn't just a big lizard. It was a walking tank with teeth. Now imagine this monster loose in the modern world. Let's say a living T-Rex appears in the middle of a dense forest in North America. What happens next? First, the ecosystem changes drastically. T-Rex would need hundreds of pounds of meat per day to survive. That's multiple deer, bison, or, if it gets close to cities, livestock, pets, or even humans. Second, T-Rex would be a walking national emergency. Governments would send drones, tanks, choppers. But remember, this is no ordinary animal. With a thick skull and scales possibly tougher than a rhino's, T-Rex could withstand gunfire and even small explosions. For a while. How do you stop something that doesn't fear bullets? Now, let's be honest. Modern military tech would eventually win. Tanks, missiles, tranquilizer darts from helicopters, we have the gear. But it's not that simple. What if T-Rex appeared in a dense urban area? Imagine New York or Los Angeles with a 40-foot predator stomping through traffic. What if we couldn't kill it fast enough? What if someone wanted to capture it alive for research or profit? Containment would be the real challenge. A creature this big, this powerful, would need a Jurassic Park-level facility. And even then, we've seen how that turns out. So, could we survive with a T-Rex in our world? If there were only one, maybe. We could track it, hunt it, build walls, deploy the military. It would be dangerous, but manageable. But what if there were dozens of them? Or worse, they reproduced? We'd be facing an apex predator unlike anything we've dealt with. Cities would become fortresses. Travel would be restricted. Life as we know it would change. In short, we might survive, but the world would never be the same. The Tyrannosaurus rex was a product of a brutal, wild world. Bringing it into our world would be like dropping a tank into a shopping mall. Could we survive? Technically, yes. But would you want to live in a world where you were no longer the top of the food chain? Let us know what you'd do if T-Rex showed up in your backyard. And hey, if you enjoyed this what-if adventure, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more prehistoric madness. Two legends, two worlds. One, a prehistoric apex predator with bone-crushing power. The other, a sentient alien robot with advanced technology and unmatched battle skill. Today, we answer a question no one asked, but everyone wants to know: who would win in a fight? T-Rex versus Optimus Prime? Let's start with the king of dinosaurs, Tyrannosaurus rex. Standing over 20 feet tall and weighing nearly 9 tons, this beast was all muscle, teeth, and raw power. Its bite force? Around 12,800 ppsi, enough to crush solid bone like a twig. On the other side of the ring, Optimus Prime, leader of the Autobots, a cybernetic warrior standing over 28 feet tall, with strength beyond human comprehension. He's equipped with plasma cannons, an energon sword, and unmatched tactical intelligence. Oh, and he can transform into a truck. Because, of course he can. This isn't just a battle of size, it's nature versus machine, instinct versus strategy. To make this fair, let's set the stage. The battlefield? An abandoned city surrounded by forest, buildings for cover, trees for stalking, open streets for full-on charges. No outside help, no backup, just one-on-one. T-Rex stalks through the rubble, nostrils flaring, teeth dripping. Optimus scans the horizon, sword ready, locked in. Let the showdown begin. T-Rex charges first, and with its powerful legs, it slams into Optimus like a freight train. One wrong step, and even a robot can stumble. The dinosaur lands a crushing bite on Optimus's shoulder. Metal crunches, sparks fly. It's brute force at its finest. But Optimus is no stranger to pain. He retaliates with a punch that sends the T-Rex flying into a building. Brick and debris rain down, but the beast roars back, unfazed. Round 1, T-Rex wins on raw power. But this is far from over. Optimus Prime knows how to adapt. He calculates, maneuvers, and strikes from a distance. Using his plasma cannon, he blasts the ground near T-Rex's feet, disrupting its balance. T-Rex charges again, but Optimus sidesteps, slashing with his energon sword, leaving a deep cut across the dinosaur's flank. T-Rex swings its massive tail, and it connects, knocking Optimus into a wall. The shockwave echoes through the city, but Optimus gets up, faster, smarter, stronger with every move. Round 2. Optimus Prime wins with tactics and firepower. Both giants are wounded. One fights by instinct, the other by honor. T-Rex lets out a thunderous roar, a sound from an ancient world. Optimus responds with a battle cry, a voice from the stars. They charge. One last clash. The moment slows, jaws open, sword raised. With a final leap, Optimus drives his blade downward as T-Rex snaps upward with its jaws. A flash of light. Silence. Dust settles. And when the smoke clears, only one remains standing. So, who wins? In a one-time battle? Optimus Prime likely takes the crown. With advanced weapons, strategic thinking, and durability far beyond flesh and bone, he edges out even the fiercest predator Earth has ever seen. But let's be real. T-Rex still wins our hearts. No machine can match the raw, untamed force of nature. And in a jungle, with no tech, no guns, just teeth and claws, the king might just reclaim his throne. Who do you think would win? Drop your theory in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell if you want more epic prehistoric matchups. During the brutal Ice Age, when freezing winds howled across endless white landscapes, when survival meant strength, instinct, and teamwork, there existed a predator rarely spoken of today. Not a saber-toothed cat, not a mammoth, but a creature just as deadly. The giant snow wolf. This wasn't your modern gray wolf. This was a beast. Known to science as Canis dirus, the dire wolf, a real-life predator that once roamed North America, striking fear into the heart of the Ice Age. The dire wolf was bigger than any wolf alive today. It stretched over 5 feet long, stood nearly 3 feet tall at the shoulder, and weighed up to 150 pounds, some even larger. But size alone wasn't what made it terrifying. It was how it hunted. Unlike solitary hunters like snow leopards, dire wolves hunted in packs. Fierce, coordinated, relentless. Their prey? Horses, bison, giant ground sloths, even young mammoths. These wolves weren't just fast or strong, they were smart. Some would chase, distract, or herd the prey, while others went for the legs, neck, or underbelly. A single dire wolf couldn't take down a mammoth, but 10, 20? That mammoth was going down hard, and it didn't end there. The dire wolf's skull and teeth were built for destruction. It didn't just bite to kill, it crushed bones. It cracked open thick femurs to get to the fatty marrow inside. In a world of ice and starvation, that kind of nutrition was survival. Nothing went to waste. So how did a predator this powerful go extinct? Around 10,000 years ago, the world began to change. Temperatures rose, ice sheets melted, forests returned, and with them, a shift in the ecosystem. Large prey like mammoths, mastodons, and giant bison began to disappear, either from climate change, overhunting by humans, or both. With the big meals gone, dire wolves struggled. Their bodies were heavier, their legs shorter, their builds less agile than the rising new hunter in town, the gray wolf. Smaller, faster, and better at adapting, gray wolves took over territory and prey. slowly, the dire wolves were pushed out of their range, their food supply, and eventually, existence. No dramatic extinction event. No last stand. Just a slow disappearance into history. Today, we find their fossils, mostly in the La Brea tar pits of California. We see deep bite marks on mammoth bones, skulls with shattered jaws, packs frozen in time. But we rarely hear their name. No movies, no documentaries, just myths and whispers. And yet, the legend lives on, in fantasy shows like Game of Thrones, where dire wolves are reimagined as massive magical beasts. But the truth, the real dire wolf was more terrifying. Not because it was magical, but because it was real. A true Ice Age killer. Silent, calculating, deadly. A forgotten apex predator that once ruled the frozen north. So, what if the dire wolf still lived today? Would humans still be at the top of the food chain? Or would we be the ones hunted across the snow? What do you think? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more prehistoric beasts and ancient killers. See you in the next video. The Cretaceous period. The final chapter of the dinosaur era. This was the peak of evolution for some of the most terrifying predators ever to walk the earth. From land-dwelling killing machines to deep-sea monsters and intelligent hunters, today we're counting down the top 5 deadliest predators of the Cretaceous period. Don't let the size fool you. Velociraptor was only about 6.5 feet long, but it was one of the most dangerous hunters thanks to its speed, razor-sharp claws, and intelligence. This predator hunted in packs, using sickle-shaped claws to take down prey much larger than itself. Unlike other carnivorous dinosaurs, Velociraptor relied on strategy and teamwork, making it a truly fearsome killer. If you thought land predators were terrifying, think again. Mosasaurus, reaching up to 60 feet in length, was the undisputed ruler of the Cretaceous seas. This marine reptile specialized in ambush attacks, striking from below and taking down everything from plesiosaurs to prehistoric sharks. Its bite force was estimated to be even greater than today's great white shark. The largest carnivorous dinosaur wasn't T-Rex, it was Spinosaurus. Measuring up to 60 feet long, this unique predator thrived in both water and land environments. Spinosaurus primarily used its long claws to catch giant fish, but it was also capable of attacking land-based dinosaurs. Unlike T-Rex, its skull was adapted more for gripping and tearing rather than crushing bones. In South America, Giganotosaurus was the apex predator. At over 43 feet long and weighing up to 22,000 pounds, it was even larger than T-Rex. This beast relied on speed and raw power, delivering devastating wounds that would weaken its prey before going in for the kill. Despite its massive size, its bite force was actually weaker than that of T-Rex. And finally, the king of all land predators, Tyrannosaurus rex. At 40 feet long and weighing up to 19,000 pounds, T-Rex had the most powerful bite of any land animal ever. This fearsome hunter had jaws strong enough to crush bones with ease. It could hunt alone or steal kills from other predators, making it the ultimate scavenger and apex predator. These killers may be extinct, but their legacy lives on. Which one do you think was the deadliest? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more prehistoric content. And if you want to see T-Rex take on Megalodon, stay tuned for our next video. One is the legendary king of dinosaurs, feared by all creatures on Earth. The other, a three-headed alien dragon capable of leveling cities and summoning lightning storms. Two titans from different worlds. One final battle. T-Rex versus King Ghidorah. Let's find out who would win in the ultimate Earth versus alien showdown. Let's meet the contenders. Tyrannosaurus rex, Earth's apex predator, 40 feet long, weighing over 9 tons, with a bite force of 12,800 psi. Built for raw power, with bone-crushing jaws and predator instincts honed by evolution. It's a beast of muscle, rage, and instinct, but it's still a creature of Earth. No wings, no lasers, no superpowers, just primal fury. Now, meet King Ghidorah, a cosmic destroyer from the stars, standing over 500 feet tall, with a wingspan close to 1,000 feet. He flies at hypersonic speeds, commands storms, fires gravity beams from 3 heads, and regenerates like a video game boss. He's not just a monster. He's a walking extinction-level event. Now, imagine this. A mysterious rift opens in Earth's atmosphere. Out of the storm comes Ghidorah, descending like an alien god. Cities fall, skies darken, nature collapses. But deep in the heart of a hidden island, something awakens. A T-Rex, somehow surviving millions of years in isolation, senses the threat. It roars, and it charges toward the chaos. No humans, no machines, just nature's fury versus cosmic terror. The battlefield is a shattered valley. Lightning crashing, trees burning, rocks split in 2. The Rex bursts from the tree line, jaws wide open, charging at full speed. It lunges and bites down hard on one of Ghidorah's necks. Ghidorah screeches, rearing back, then slams its wing into the T-Rex, hurling it across the canyon. But the Rex is relentless. It gets up, charges again, and tears into Ghidorah's golden armor, drawing sparks and alien blood. For a moment, it looks like Earth might stand a chance. But Ghidorah takes to the skies. From above, it rains devastation. Gravity beams shred the ground. Thunder rips through the mountains. The T-Rex dodges, but it's no match for aerial warfare. A direct hit slams into its side, throwing it into the cliffs. Bloodied and burned, it lets out a final roar and leaps. It catches Ghidorah mid-flight, biting its central neck and dragging it back to Earth. The crash shakes the battlefield. But Ghidorah's other heads strike back, locking onto the Rex's body. It lifts the dinosaur into the air and throws it into the mountain range below. Everything goes quiet. Smoke rises. Ghidorah roars in triumph. But then, through the rubble, a low growl. The T-Rex is still alive. This time, it might have lost. But Earth isn't finished yet. Who do you think would win? Raw, prehistoric power, or alien godlike might? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more epic prehistoric versus kaiju battles. And if you want to see Godzilla step into the fight, stay tuned for what's coming next. You're a soldier on the battlefield in 1943. You hear the rumble of tanks, gunfire in the distance, and then the ground shakes. From the smoke, a T-Rex charges through, wearing military armor, jaws wide open. Welcome to one of the craziest what-if scenarios ever. What if the Tyrannosaurus Rex fought in World War II? Let's break it down. First, how could a dinosaur even exist in the 1940s? Let's assume this is an alternate reality. Somehow, a hidden island with living dinosaurs is discovered by Allied forces, and among them, a fully grown 9-ton T-Rex. Scientists and military engineers team up to train the beast. It's no easy task. After all, this thing has a bite force of 12,800 psi, stands 20 feet tall, and runs up to 20 mph. But what it lacks in brains, it makes up for in sheer destruction. So, what role would the T-Rex play in the war? Let's say the T-Rex is used like a living tank, leading the front lines, fitted with reinforced armor plating on its back and sides, maybe even carrying a soldier turret or two on top. Imagine D-Day, As troops storm the beaches of Normandy, a massive T-Rex charges alongside them, absorbing fire and crushing enemy bunkers with one swipe of its tail. No tank traps, no foxholes, no enemy lines could stop it. German soldiers would be frozen in fear, morale, crushed like a jeep under a T-Rex foot. But it's not all perfect. Let's be real. The T-Rex isn't exactly stealthy. It's loud, huge, and can't really fit inside a transport plane. Feeding it? We're talking hundreds of pounds of meat a day. Not easy in the middle of a war. Plus, it's a wild animal. Even if trained, one wrong command, and it might turn on its own troops. What if it goes rogue behind Allied lines? And let's not forget, one well-placed artillery shell, and it's game over. Biological tanks don't respawn. Now imagine the Axis powers catch wind of this. The Nazis weren't shy about weird science. Would they try to clone their own dinosaur? Create some sort of biomechanical T-Rex with rockets strapped to its back? It could spark an all-new arms race, but with prehistoric monsters. Instead of tanks versus tanks, we get T-Rex versus genetically modified Triceratops, or worse, pterosaurs used as bombers. The war just got prehistoric. And insane. Let's say the Allies win, partly thanks to their dino ally. Now what? Would T-Rex become a national hero? Would it be displayed like a war trophy, or sent to a secret military base for future missions? Or would governments cover it all up, burying the truth forever? Maybe that's why we don't see any dinosaurs today, not because they went extinct, but because they were weaponized and silenced. So, could a T-Rex change the course of World War II? Maybe. But in the chaos of war, even the king of the dinosaurs might just be another casualty. What do you think? Would T-Rex be a secret weapon? Or a total disaster? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more crazy what-ifs. Do you believe that a creature once feared and revered across the ancient Northern Hemisphere, extinct for thousands of years, is now making its way back into existence? It's not a dinosaur. It's not the woolly mammoth, but something just as powerful and just as mysterious. We're talking about the dire wolf, a giant prehistoric predator that once roamed the icy plains, hunting side by side with early humans like the Neanderthals. And now, thanks to breakthroughs in ancient DNA and genetic engineering, scientists are working on something astonishing. The dire wolf may be coming back. So, what exactly was the dire wolf? This massive canine, known scientifically as Canis dirus, literally fearsome dog, was much larger than the gray wolves we know today. It could weigh up to 70 kilograms, with powerful jaws and thick bones built for taking down large prey, including bison, camels, and even ancient horses. Its territory stretched across the Americas, from Canada to South America, thriving for thousands of years through the Ice Age. In its time, it was the apex predator, the top of the food chain. But then, around 10,000 years ago, after the last Ice Age ended, the dire wolf disappeared. Why? Scientists believe it was a perfect storm of climate change and vanishing prey. As the Earth warmed and mega-herbivores died off, the dire wolf struggled to adapt. Unlike smaller, more flexible predators like the gray wolf or coyote, it was too specialized, too dependent on a world that was fading. Without enough food or the ability to evolve quickly, the dire wolf slowly vanished from the wild. Its bones, however, remained, especially in tar pits like those at La Brea in California, giving us priceless clues to its past. But just when we thought we knew the full story, modern genetics revealed something surprising. Scientists recently sequenced DNA from dire wolf fossils and discovered that this ancient predator wasn't just a bigger version of today Ace wolves. It was something else entirely. In fact, the dire wolf was not even a close relative of modern wolves. Its lineage diverged from other canines over 5 million years ago, evolving separately without any interbreeding with other wolf species. That makes the dire wolf not just a lost species, but a lost branch of the canine family tree. Now, here's where it gets wild. Scientists are exploring ways to bring the dire wolf back. Using advanced gene editing tools like CRISPR, researchers are trying to introduce key dire wolf genes into embryos of related animals, such as dogs or wolves. The idea isn't to create monsters or clone exact replicas. It's to rebuild the genetic traits that define the dire wolf, its strength, its resilience, and maybe even reintroduce it to controlled environments where it once thrived. It's part of a broader scientific movement called De-Extinction, reviving extinct species to restore damaged ecosystems and correct the mistakes of the past. But this raises a big question. Just because we can bring something back, should we? The return of the dire wolf is no longer just science fiction. It's science in motion. From fossilized bones to genetic blueprints to potential rebirth, the dire wolf's journey is a mirror of humanity's ambition, power, and responsibility. Will we learn from the past or repeat it, this time with wolves at our heels? One thing is certain. The dire wolf's story isn't over yet. It's only just beginning. Again.
What if we told you that a creature once lost to the Ice Age has just taken its first breath? In the modern world? Yes, the giant white wolf, a predator that roamed alongside mammoths and saber-toothed cats, has been successfully resurrected through cloning. And now, scientists are asking a question that sounds straight out of Jurassic Park. If we can bring back the Ice Age wolf, can we do the same for dinosaurs? Let's start with what just happened. Deep in a top-secret genetics lab in Siberia, a team of researchers used advanced cloning techniques to revive the genome of Canis dirus alba, Ice Age wolf species that went extinct nearly 10,000 years ago. Using preserved DNA from permafrost remains and a closely related modern wolf as a surrogate, the pupa was born in early 2025. It's not just a scientific marvel, it's a biological revolution. The creature is massive, with white fur, piercing blue eyes, and an instinctive howl that hasn't echoed on Earth in millennia. And it's alive, breathing, growing. But this success opens the door to an even bigger, more controversial idea. De-extinction on a prehistoric scale. If we can bring back a predator that's been dead for 10,000 years, what's stopping us from going back 65 million years? Could we bring back a dinosaur? That's where things get complicated. Unlike the frozen DNA of Ice Age mammals, dinosaur DNA is far more degraded. Bones can fossilize, but DNA doesn't last that long. Most estimates say DNA breaks down completely after about 1.5 million years, even under ideal conditions. So, no. We haven't found a frozen T-Rex embryo, but that doesn't mean it's impossible. Scientists are now working on genetic back engineering, editing the genomes of modern animals, like chickens, to devolve them toward their ancient dinosaur ancestors. It's called reverse evolution, and it's real. Chickens are dinosaurs, or at least, their distant descendants. By switching certain genes on or off, researchers have already grown chickens with dinosaur-like tails, teeth, and snouts. In lab experiments, combine this with CRISPR gene editing, and suddenly, the idea of rebuilding a dinosaur or something very close to one doesn't then seem so far-fetched. But let's ask the real question. Should we do it? Bringing back a giant wolf is one thing. It fits into ecosystems we still understand. But reviving a or a raptor, that's unleashing a creature evolved for a world that no longer exists. The plants, the prey, even the air composition of the Cretaceous period, all gone. A dinosaur wouldn't just be out of place. It might be unstable, aggressive, or suffer biologically in our modern world. And then there's the ethical debate. Is it right to bring back an extinct animal simply because we can? Who decides which species get a second chance? And which ones stay dead? For now, the giant white wolf is being studied in a secure facility. It's a proof of concept, but more are on the way. Mammoths, cave lions, even each resurrection pushes the limits further. So the next time you see news about de-extinction, remember, it's not just about the past, it's about the future we're building. And maybe, just maybe, one day, you'll look out your window, and see something with scales, claws, and a roar that echoes from 65 million years ago? Would you be amazed or terrified? Let us know in the comments. Would you support resurrecting dinosaurs, or do you think some species should stay extinct? Subscribe for more incredible science stories, creature breakdowns, and future-shaping technology. And don't forget to hit that notification bell, because the line between science fiction and science fact is getting thinner every day.